And good morning. Now, it's a beautiful day, one to be excited, to be grateful that once you sail through Wednesday, it'll be easier, at least a little bit easier for the rest of the week. Although there is quite a bit of traffic on the roads this morning, I felt a bit of it this morning myself. We have to welcome you to the midweek edition of Wake Up Nigeria. This is the #1 family breakfast show, and we hope to bring that morning sunshine to you to brighten your day just that little bit. So we have a piece of advice for you. You need to stay right there with us because we have prepped a really great show for you today. We're going to be here all the way till 9 a.m. and my name is Titilayo Oyinson. Trust me, if you need to move away from your screen, I would like to suggest that you go on to tvcentertainment.tv and of course facebook.com/TT or rather TVC Connect. Now we have a way for you to connect with us online. You can always use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC on all the social media platforms, and of course with our app downloaded specially just for you from the Android or iOS store. You can watch us from anywhere in the world. So, need some information about what we're doing today? As always on Wednesdays, now our very first musical performance is gonna come from singer, songwriter and actor Lucky S. We have a makeover segment for you today, home makeover that is. We have a female furniture maker, Mistura Shitu. She'll be here once again to give us some styling options for your bedroom. Also coming along today, we'll have a second musical performance. We have Nigerian Afro-fusion artist Freeborn. And on health today, none other than Dr. Lawson will be back. Now he's going to be talking about leg deformities in adults. Then also coming up is a special package from the Event Experience Africa, tagged TEXA 2020.
At TAFO, Steve Harris, others engage event entrepreneurs.
On relationships today, we have certified life coach Aremo Olalekon. Now he's going to be here to discuss the zone matter. Are we talking the friend zone, the brother zone, and all the other zones that you could find yourself in? And finally, we have a special guest joining us for a chat today. Sumbo Adeoye is going to be right here. She has an inspiring story and has been working really, really hard to inspire others. Can't wait to meet her. All right. Okay. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, it was good. So I even think that Google Maps has even been maybe Google Maps has been overwhelmed or something this morning because they almost gave wrong directions. But hey, just some people that were in traffic from last night to this morning.
That it's crazy.
So
Some slept overnight on the road.
The tanker on Long Bridge heading towards Arepo, outside of Lagos and all of that. It was from yesterday.
Wow.
Up until, so there's some people that said, it's not 100% confirmed, but some people have been on the road from last night till this morning.
So I myself had to cross over the expressway today. I had to break the law and cross the express instead of using the pedestrian bridge.
Were you close to the pedestrian bridge?
So I was close to the toll gate, but it was very, very dark over the bridge. And I've not passed there in a very long time.
Long time.
So, so I had the car cross the road to the middle, to the center island, and then I had to walk across. I saw a lot of the tanker drivers and some of their assistants. They brought out their mats, they spread them under the tankers.
So the number of
sleeping.
The number of tankers heading, especially Otedola Bridge, the number of tankers heading towards that is only tankers on the road, and it's worrying. That bridge. Bridges are not meant to suspend or hold heavyweight, constant heavyweight. And that's what's happening. They're just there. It stands still. There's no movement.
It's not even moving.
There's no
it's
movement.
Not at all.
So I would
But
just
it was
advise,
interesting, yeah.
if you don't have to go out. In fact, if you have to go out, but you can find a way to do whatever you have to do inside the house today, don't go out.
Yeah.
Don't go out.
Especially if you're around the Lagos, but if you need to use the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway for any reason whatsoever, if you need to come through 7-Up Junction, if you need to go anywhere around there, just avoid it. Avoid
just
it
chill.
total.
Like, if you can call your boss and tell your boss, can I work from home today? Today is one day that your boss or whoever, your superior in the office, has to understand.
2 or 3 people horned as they saw me walking. I saw like, TT. I was like, hey. They were like, should we go this way? I was like, no, don't go that way.
So you do have to be careful and all of that on the roads this morning, all that.
But is there anything else that's trending so far today? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll have to head to the news now. Okay.
Ibrahim made it to the studio. Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you, Titi. That is why we need to adopt flying cars this moment. Instead of watching them on Facebook and in all the social media.
Flying cars.
Flying cars.
In where?
In Lagos.
Are you, Ibrahim, you sure you're in Lagos? You sure you're here?
Okay, I understand. All the cobwebs called them, flyover wires. They might be. It's 2 days after protests turned violent over the alleged murder of a footballer, Tiamiyu Kazim, by the police in Shagamu, Ogun State. The Governor Dapo Abiodun has asked residents not to escalate tension in the area, a plea made during a visit to the family of the deceased. The violent protest that claimed the lives of 3 persons in Shagamu seems to have aggravated the already tense situation in the town as both old and young complain about intimidation and harassment by the policemen. Kazim Olawa reports at the home of the deceased relatives.
The violent protest that claimed the lives of 3 persons in Shagamu seems to have aggravated the already tense situation in the town as both old and young complain about intimidation and harassment by the policemen. At the home of the deceased, relatives complained to the governor, who was there with the Deputy Inspector General of Police, about unprofessional conduct of some policemen in the area. Family of the dead footballer are demanding for justice.
Now, I want justice to be done. All those who are behind the killing of my son, I want them to put to the book and what necessary. I just want justice to be done on them. And again, the body of my son still remains at the Babcock mortuary. I want the government to please release him for me to be buried, because he's a true and a good Muslim. He's a practicing Muslim.
It was painful. It was painful. I can't even say anything. It's terrible things, because the guy is very cool guy. In fact, before you ask anything, he's already know what to do. So it was painful. I don't know what to. It's terrible things.
Temper still high, and people are betraying emotion. They are angry that they lost one of them, a promising star who was cut off at his prime. Residents of Shagamu and family members of Tiamiyu Kazim are calling for justice. At the palace of Akaribu of Remoland, the governor commiserates with the monarch and the entire people of Shagamu, promising that justice will prevail on the matter. He urged the monarch to appeal to residents not to take laws in their hands. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, who represented the Inspector General of Police during the visit, says all satellite stations of zonal offices have been disbanded.
The headquarters of Zone 2 is in Lagos, and unfortunately some of the AIGs have been found to have established satellite offices outside their zonal headquarters, and that is an aberration in the police schedule of duty. And it is those satellite offices that the IG has ordered that should be disbanded immediately. For example, there is one in Kurudu from what we heard. There's another one in Ijebu-Ode. There's another one in Obadaoko, from where officers came to cause this mayhem.
After much persuasion by the governor of Ogun State and the leadership of the Nigeria police, headed by a DIJ, the situation here at Shagamu is now calm and people are now going about their normal businesses. The presence of police and other security agencies are here. They are stationed at different strategic locations within the community. Kazim Olowe, TVC News, Shagamu.
The Kaduna State House of Assembly has elected a new speaker, Yusuf Zailani, following the resignation of Aminu Shagali. Tessie Makinde reports on the reason for the change in leadership.
This is the Kaduna State House of Assembly, popularly known as the Lugard Hall. Tuesday morning came with a shock. As Speaker of the Assembly, Aminu Shagali backed down from his responsibility as Speaker of the State Legislature. Clerk of the Assembly says Aminu's decision is based on personal reasons. His deputy, Yusuf Zailani, was immediately sworn in and has already begun discharging his duties and functions as Speaker of the House. Member representing Basawa constituency of the Assembly, Mukhtar Issa Hazo, was elected as the new Deputy Speaker. There are speculations that there is more to the resignation than meets the eyes. They are not buying the excuse of his resignation based on personal grounds. 40-year-old Aminu Shagali first became Speaker of the Kaduna State House of Assembly in 2015. He was re-elected in 2019 with a resignation on 25th February 2020. Tasem Akende, TVC News, Kaduna.
Now, outside Nigeria, Iran's Deputy Health Minister and a lawmaker have tested positive for the coronavirus as it struggles to contain an outbreak that has killed 16 persons. The country is now one of 3 hotspots outside China, causing concern that the virus could be becoming a pandemic. The Deputy Minister, Iraj Harichi, had on Monday denied covering up the scale of outbreak. He appeared to be in discomfort as he spoke to reporters. The situation in Iran, home to holy sites that attract millions every year and in a region where several countries have weak health systems, has caused great concern about a potential mass outbreak in the Middle East. And that's it on the news update for this hour. Let's take a look at what the weather will look like today.
Yes, and our papers have arrived, and the first headline is from the Guardian newspaper. Now it says here, resign now, reps tell service chiefs, NSA. Seek urgent overhaul of security architecture, move to grant immunity for presiding officers. The story starts there on the cover and wraps up on page 6. Another story on the cover here is Nigeria's Eyimofe on world stage at Berlinale. It also says, embarrassing crack in the presidency. That's an editorial there with more on page 16. Court sentences Metu to 7 years in prison Lawyers asked Buhari to purge cabinet of corrupt persons. PDP did not abandon embattled ex-spokesman. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian. Now, I also have the Leadership newspaper here, and it says, court jails Olisametu 7 years over 400 million naira fraud. Resumes trial of Fani Kayode and over Nenadi Usman over alleged 4.6 billion naira graft. Page 4 has more on that. NECO dismisses another 19 workers for certificate forgery. Page 13 has more information. British Commission to partner leadership on climate change campaign. Senate President, speakers to get immunity as reps pass bill. And it also says here, Iranian Deputy Health Minister tests positive to coronavirus. That's what we have on the cover of the Leadership newspaper. If we move as quickly as possible to the Daily Trust newspaper here, it says Nigerians reject immunity for Senate President, Speaker. Others say it's self-serving. Proposal triggers calls for removal of immunity for president and governors. Police brutality threatens our nationhood, says Gbajabiamila. It also says here, Kano bans street begging, vows to take erring parents to court. And at the bottom of the page here, after Daily Trust reported National Assembly wants FCC reconstituted. Without Buhari, I won't be governor, says Akeredolu. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Trust. I also have the Nation newspaper here, and it talks about this. It says reps under fire for bill on lawmakers' immunity. Says here that it will weaken anti-graft war, according to Sage. Falano, Ozekome, others lash on lawmakers. On money laundering, Metu jailed for 36 years, ex-PDP spokesman to pay 375 million naira fine. Federal government to take over firm. At the bottom of the page here, it says bank demands 33 billion naira debt from oil firms. Right at the top, AMCON seizes Buba Galadima's houses over 900 million naira in debt. I'll wrap with this. It says here, boy 16 hides inside banking hall overnight to steal 340,000 naira. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation. Now, if we still have enough time, I have the Vanguard here. And the Vanguard has this headline. It says, insecurity, gunmen go on rampage nationwide. Delta community attacked, man killed, wife abducted, daughter injured. Gang sacks Benue community as cult war claims pharmacist, 4 others. It also says here, cultists invade Delta police formation, 7 arrested. We won't tolerate killings from police, says Gbajabiamila. On Naira Watch, Naira appreciates to 365.33 Naira to the dollar in the INE window. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard. And that's all we have time for in the headlines on the newspapers today, this morning. We'll be taking it again in the next hour, but we'll be taking a break for now.
It is a crazy day on the roads in Lagos this morning, and that is due to a number of reasons. First one I can authoritatively tell you is that Long Bridge heading towards Arepo from yesterday, there's a burning truck, burning tanker. I'm not exactly sure, but I know I saw images and I saw videos yesterday. Now that truck cost a lot because now I don't know why it was allowed to burn out or why it's allowed to burn out, but it caused a lot of traffic and some people were on the road from last night up until this morning. Confirmed reports, some people said they were on the road there. So it's really, really bonkers, right? If you can, send a tweet to us at TVC Connect. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. just throw those tweets out. We do a lot with tweets today and see how the traffic situation is like, or where you can use as a detour. Now, something I found out this morning, detours really kind of help you when you know where to go and where not to go. Earlier this morning, the maps, you have to be careful. The maps were bonkers at this point. I don't know what issues were there, but of course, maybe, you know, it's software, so issues could come up. But you would take what you see on the maps with a pinch of salt. Be very careful. Right? Listen to reports of people who are there live. You have some details to go through. Well, I know that if you are heading from Fagba and Aguleba, heading towards Ogba, at about past 6 this morning, it was up until Yaya Baton, getting up to College Road was blocked. So if you'd have to take a detour, probably past Coyote into Thomas Salako, and then head out towards Wemco, and then you can reach out into Agidingbi. By the time you're even reaching out into Agidingbi, coming from Agidingbi, of course, heading towards, that's talking about the Sherry Road, was also building up. So, and I think it's an after effect of the traffic from Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, of course, heading out of Lagos, it was blocked. It was blocked. And when I mean blocked, I mean it was no movement. Trucks and all of that piled on the road. That's heading towards Bega. And then from Bega, coming into Lagos from the other side was also blocked. So you can see that cuts across, heading towards Otedala Bridge to Bega, heading out of Lagos blocked. On the opposite road, it's free, of course. But then from Lagos-Ibadan heading into Lagos up until Bega blocked, and then after Bega it's quite free. So that is a conundrum. If you don't have, if it's a step is absolutely necessary for you, except your physical presence is needed. If there's anything, and which is quite a lot, if there's anything you can do to work in correspondence, you know, if you can do that, please ensure you do that. Don't go out of the house. Titi, do you have any reports there?
Yeah, so I have updates from social media here. Now, the updates I have are, you know, almost alarming. It says here, if you live in Magodo or Alakpere, you're on a long thing this morning. Don't even know what options you have, but you have to avoid Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. It also says here, heavy traffic on Lagos-Ibadan towards Otedala Bridge. By any means possible, avoid Oworo, Bega, Ibadan Expressway. It is on lockdown as far as the eye can see, moving on the other side, but there's no movement on this road. There's a picture there, and it's tagged at traffic alert and giddy traffic, #Lagos. Moving on now, it says if you work around K2 Magodo inward Bega, just stay back and don't bother going to work. Just tell your boss Lagos has declared today an off day, because you won't get to work till evening. Stay away from Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Going out of Lagos is blocked. Coming in has bad traffic. And it just keeps going on and on and on. If you're heading to Bega today, stay in your house. I've never seen traffic like this before. You can't even walk. Really, it says so much, so many of the same thing. But there are some people who are saying that motorists have carved out a small space before a designated turning where you can link to the other side of the road, but you would have to climb the middle aisle. You can also go through K2. So K2 seems to have an alternative route. Someone is giving advice about the K2 route in this same area. Mike, should I go on?
Where are you going? Where do you want to go to? Where are you going on to? Yeah, I see that the whole of Lagos is blocked. You still want to go on to where?
There's still more. There's still
Don't
more.
go out if you don't have to.
Just one more.
All right? So that's it on traffic.
All right.
Let's check out what's up and about in town.
Yeah, so while the mic is getting here, let me just drop this one. It says, if you work on the island and you're coming from anywhere, that's Kara, Opik, Wawa, Arikbo, Magboro, Ibafo, MFM, Muwe, just call your boss. You can't get to work today. Yeah. So it's one of those things. People have been trying to find alternatives, and hopefully they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll just go out, and I'm surprised that the maps are giving what they're doing. But hey.
It's Ash Wednesday.
It is. It's a big one.
Yeah,
it's a big one. It's a big one. Ash Wednesday, the beginning of the Lenten season, 40 days up until Easter, of course, for Catholics. Fast begins today.
Yeah. So, so everyone's going to be all, what, calm and mellow now?
Yeah, calm and mellow. Maybe that's why a lot of people go out, because early in the morning,
yeah,
you have to go out for morning mass.
Of course. And our very own Yomi had a panel session at Social Media Week. He was the host for the TVC Social Media Week panel, which basically talked about the future of media.
Traditional media.
Yeah.
All of that. It's something that I'd really love to hear and know about it. There's quite a lot that we have to catch up. Traditional media has a lot to catch up. Digitization should have been completed in 2015. This is 2019. 2020, pardon me. So, but let's see how far or how well we can catch up with that. But there's just some shots we want to show you of what went down yesterday at Social Media Week.
There was an increase in viewership. It had nothing to do with the story.
Okay, so that's the crowd of people that came for our very own session, and of course that's the panel there.
I'd love to hear what some few things they said. You know, it will give us some pointers, hearing what they feel. I personally feel like we have a lot, like I had mentioned earlier. Digitalization should have taken over when it comes to traditional media. That's talking about, of course, TV and radio, apart from social media, of course, and new media, as the case is.
So on the panel there, you can see Mr. Yinka Adebayo, the ED Media Investments OMG WECA. We also have Amaka Nwoko there, VP Sales from Schoolio Technologies. Also on the panel, we had Mr. Uzoma Onwucheka, CEO of Envivo Communications. And then we had the founder of Arcadia Mobile TV on the panel, Mr. Akintunde Marino. And it was quite a powerful session, and a lot of points were raised.
The fact that digital is now not only a medium, is equally an avenue by which is equally content. And content will always be the main driver of anything. Yes, I hear you in terms of how people now consume media, because we have very young, energetic and vibrant society right now. They're always on the go. So they need news on the go. And for me, I won't call it the traditional media. I would rather refer to it as the mass media. And that word mass is instructive, because that's where the interest of most brands are. Where can you develop me the most at the cost-effective manner? The media has about 5 different roles. We're talking about reach, we are talking about frequency, we are talking about impact, we are equally talking about engagement, and you are talking about continuity. In all of these roles, digital can play all these 5 roles effectively.
I do not see a revolutionary change taking place even in the next decade. The assertion is supported by clear evidence that the vast majority of Nigerians do not have access to data and streaming services that will give them 24-hour access to television and other media like traditional media does. Also, the industry's biggest spenders, with a budget of more than $1 billion, are still quite comfortable reaching their target markets through traditional media. There are arguments on both sides, of course, but one thing is clear. Every player in the media industry understands the changes taking place in the digital space, while obvious, are still largely unpredictable, and nobody knows what will happen.
Of traditional media. At TVC Communications, where I'm a director, we oversee a vast array of programming, catering to a satellite and terrestrial audience running into over 6 million viewers per day. Let me quickly point out that we are not oblivious of the astonishing changes taking place all around us in the digital space. Indeed, we have made substantial investments in digital by pushing a lot of our content to our growing online audience. This includes our YouTube page, our social media handles, our online presence, which we have invested heavily in.
Yeah, so that was our boss there, Mr. Folarin Olukunle, also speaking at the panel session yesterday. All in all, it was an interesting session.
All right, we'll take a break now. Yeah, there's still more to come on the show. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Hello and good morning, beautiful people. Hopefully you're ready for a second dose of premium family entertainment.
Of course, it's a brand new hour of Wake Up Nigeria. We hope, well, if you're in traffic, it's going to be hard for you to have enjoyed this, but if you're at home, definitely you'd have enjoyed what we had in the previous hour.
Yeah, well, we're here to help you get that great start this Wednesday morning. And if you're just joining us, we still have quite a lot coming up shortly. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
Mike Messikenor is mine. Now remember to stream live if you are out of the house at tvcentertainment.tv. On Facebook, it's at TVC Connect.
We love seeing your comments, and you can send them in across all our social media platforms with the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
You can also download our app on Android and iOS and watch us anywhere you are via the app.
Yes, so now,
so yeah, our chef is around, and we had some people who, they went through and they
yeah, look at what the chef is prepping.
That's Irish, eh?
Irish potatoes.
Hello,
Chef Yabez.
Good morning.
How fun now? This is your bandana on your head. You are vexing this morning, no? Black bandana. I want to cook anything and cook everything.
That's so.
Nice one.
Looking good.
Nice one. Okay.
I love the chef uniform today. That's a nice one.
Banana Baba is alright.
Yes.
All right. So straight up, what we have left on the show on Home Makeover this morning, female furniture maker Mestura Shitu will be here again. This time to give us some styling options for your bedroom.
Then we have Nigerian Afrofusion artist Freeborn. He'll be coming up shortly with a second musical performance.
And of course, a number of adults suffer limb deformities of one type or the other. Now, Dr. Lawson will be here to talk about leg deformities in adults.
And still to come is some coverage on the event Experience Africa tagged TEXA 2020.
Now, on relationship, certified life coach Aremo Olalekon will be joining us to discuss zone matter, friend zone, brother zone, all the other zones. We'll talk about them.
Then we have finally a special guest joining us for a chat today. Sumbo Adeoye is going to be here. We're going to be talking about her career and so much more. Alrighty.
Yep.
Yeah, so now there's not really as much as I thought that would be, trending in terms of entertainment and all that. It's mostly things from, our environment.
Yes, now, football. So out of the 20 trends, you have like 13 about football. Yesterday, Chelsea was a bad day for Chelsea, bad night.
You were looking forward to
So
this
I had
one, right?
not really.
Really?
So it's not. They say it's not cool to beat a man when he's down. So I remember that song. Why do you beat me when I'm down? But it was expected. So it's not really. But they lost 3-0 at home yesterday. Bayern Munich decimated Chelsea. So some people are saying that that match was not played. That the real match is coming. But hey, come on. It was, so take heart and plan for next season because you can't do anything again this season.
I wanted to mention something. They say that the coronavirus has affected the fashion week in Italy.
Italy, yeah, those were a number of events.
For it to have basically got to Europe, everybody is now a little, a little alarmed. So there was a Versace fashion show yesterday that held, and there were empty seats. And I don't think that's ever happened, ever. Versace is having a show and nobody's there.
It's not about Versace. Whoever comes now, you get empty seats.
Yeah.
I didn't even know why the show even held on.
Yeah,
they should have taken their brain and a lot of things have been cancelled. Matches have been football matches have been cancelled. Shows have been cancelled. Competitions we spoke about the IWTF competition which has been cancelled. So a number of things are cancelled because you don't even want people in close proximity like that.
Yeah.
So it's a health risk. So the organizers even made a very wrong decision to let it go on. All right, that's it.
Oh, wow.
But now let's Take a look at the news this morning. Of course, Ibrahim is on standby.
Now, for motorists plying the ever-busy Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, today started out with a particularly harrowing gridlock. The whole stretch of the highway, both inwards and outwards, are grounded, and this is affecting their other adjoining routes. Some motorists say they have been stuck in the lockdown since last night. It's not certain what has caused the traffic, but unconfirmed reports say a heavy-duty vehicle got burned along the route. Motorists are still stranded. Now, it's today after a protest turned violent over the alleged murder of a footballer, Tiamiyu Kazim, by the police in Shagamu, Ogun State. Governor Dapo Abiodun has asked residents not to escalate tension in the area, a plea made during a visit to the family of the deceased. The violent protest that claimed the lives of 3 persons in Shagamu seems to have aggravated the already tense situation in the town, as both old and young complain about intimidation and harassment by the policemen. At the home of the deceased, relatives complained to the governor, who was there with the Deputy Inspector General of Police, about unprofessional conduct of some policemen in the area. The family of the dead footballer are demanding for justice at the Palace of Akaribo of Remo land. The governor commiserates with the monarch and the entire people of Shagamu, promising that the justice will prevail on the matter. He urged the monarch to appeal to residents not to take laws into their hands. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, who represented the Inspector General of Police during the visit, says all satellite stations of zonal offices have been disbanded. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. A phrase from George Orwell's Animal Farm is what comes to mind when analyzing the recent approach by the Department of State Security Service at tackling kidnapping in the country. A manual from the DSS, which provides tips against kidnapping for very important personalities, is generating controversy. A copy of the handbook titled "Kidnapping: Why Me and My Family" was sent to the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and other top government functionaries. A cross-section of Nigerians are now querying why the DSS will engage in selective protection of citizens. They say given the spate of kidnapping in the country, any security advisory aimed at stemming the tide ought to be made public. Reacting to the backlash, the DSS said the handbook is not exclusive, adding that it conducts regular public awareness on security issues. Now, outside Nigeria, Iran's Deputy Health Minister and a lawmaker have tested positive for the coronavirus as it struggles to contain an outbreak that has killed 16 persons. The country is now one of 3 hotspots outside China, causing concern that the virus could be becoming pandemic. The Deputy Minister, Iraj Harishi, had on Monday denied covering up the scale of the outbreak. He appeared to be in discomfort as he spoke to reporters. The situation in Iran, home to holy sites that attract millions every year, and in a region where several countries have weak health systems, has caused great concern about a potential mass outbreak in the Middle East. Several European countries have announced their first coronavirus cases, with all appearing to be linked to the growing outbreak in Italy. Austria, Croatia and Switzerland said the cases involved people who had been to Italy. The first positive virus test has been recorded in Latin America in a Brazilian resident just returned from Italy. Italy has in recent days become Europe's worst affected country with more than 300 cases and 11 deaths. But its neighbors have decided to close borders would be disproportionate. And Iran's Deputy Health Minister and a lawmaker have tested positive for the coronavirus as it struggles to contain an outbreak that has killed 16 persons. The country is now one of 3 hotspots outside China, causing concern that the virus could be very pandemic. And as a news update this hour, remember?
So there are chefs and there are cooks. Someone just gave me that insight just now. Today we have a chef in the house. When you just look at the spread we have in front of you, you understand what I mean by saying that this guy is a chef. Chef Yabez, how you doing? This guy. Pass me my bandana, please. Betty, Alima, somebody. We need to twin now. We need twinning. But hey, come on. What are we doing this morning?
This morning we are about to make a potato crush pizza.
Potato crush pizza. Yeah. Okay. What are the ingredients that we're working with for this meal?
We have our Irish potato.
Okay.
In case you don't have your Irish potato, you can use sweet potato.
Okay. Why do you prefer Irish?
That's my choice.
That's the choice of, okay, but of course can be sweet. Okay, so
I have my Irish potato.
Okay.
I use my grater.
Okay.
Grate my Irish potato.
Okay.
I have my Parmesan cheese.
Parmesan cheese.
Just my carrot.
Your carrot.
Red pepper.
Okay.
Red bell pepper. Green pepper. Onions.
Onions. Okay.
I have my eggs.
Okay.
Mushrooms. Salt. Oregano and black pepper.
Okay. All right, and then what else? What's this?
Just my pizza sauce.
Your pizza sauce.
Yeah.
How is this prepared? Is it your special recipe or?
It's my special recipe.
Your special recipe.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So we cannot just tell you everything, pay so that you want to patronize him. This is special recipe. You can't tell what's inside. Eh? Okay, and that's what's that?
This is my cheddar cheese.
Oh, okay, cheddar cheese. Okay, so good. We're still grating. So this is the process. Why do we have to grate the potatoes? I know some people try to
we need to grate the potato because without grating the potato, you can't make the base.
Okay.
Because I know when I say today is the potato crushed pizza, I know your mind goes direct to flour.
Ah, yes,
but
sure. I'm
not.
thinking about that because I'm thinking that pizza definitely has a base of flour.
Yeah, but today we are not going to use flour.
Okay, well now this one is really going to be different. Okay, yeah. So but then we have is this a wok or a frying pan? Which one? What's this one now?
This is our fry pan. We are about to use the fry pan.
Have you used this frying pan before?
Yes.
You have used it before?
Yes.
The way this frying pan, the frying pan just shine anyhow like they've not used it before. I wish you could see this now. But okay. So what are we gonna do with this frying pan? We're waiting for it to get hot or something.
After I grate my potato,
okay.
I'm about to mix everything together.
Okay.
The potato with cheddar cheese, salt, oreganos.
And then it will get into the frying pan. Yeah. So mushrooms, what other meat of choice can you use if you don't use mushrooms?
No, if you don't have mushroom, you can use just ordinary the vegetable you have in the house.
So I can't use one like snail.
That's your choice.
Yes, now I want to use snail. I do my pizza and all that. Mushroom is like snail, you know, those are special meats like snail or something. I'm serious. I'm serious. If I wanted to make an order from you now, so if I call up Chef Yabes, I need some pizza now. What you call it now? Potato crush pizza. Yeah. I want you to use snail. Won't you do it?
I will use it.
That's what I'm saying now. We use snail and do this something, Charlie. So me, I'll go for snail. I'll go for snail and maybe gizzard.
Okay.
That's snail and gizzard. That combination was going to be very, very bad, right? But mushrooms, right? So with mushrooms, I know there are different types and all of that. It gets scary when I've heard stuff about poisonous mushrooms and all of that. How do you ensure that the mushroom you're using is the type that is not harmful to people?
Actually, this mushroom is ready concern itself inside the bottle.
Right. So
you understand?
Yes, okay. So you get it that way. It's already processed and packaged and all of that, so you're very sure that it is.
Then you need to check your date.
Okay.
Your date before you use it.
Okay, the expiry date.
If it's expired, no need to.
No need to. But this is very fresh mushroom, right?
Yeah, it's very fresh.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so we're done with our potato crush. It's already been grated. If you don't have any grater, is there another option, or you must buy grater?
You must buy grater.
Okay, good. There are some times when I love people who always want to give options, but then there are some times where you just have to get exactly what you need to do what you want. And for this one, you definitely have to get a grater. It's not so expensive. You can get a grater anywhere. Just walk up and ask for a grater. Okay. So what are we doing with this next?
Now we need to press it to remove the water.
Oh wow! To take out the water.
Yeah,
okay. Are we using a sieve or something?
Yeah, we need to use our sieve.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
We need to use a sieve.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. I hope you can see how we're using this. Okay. All right.
Just to make sure that your water.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Come out very well.
Wonderful. Myself and Chef Yabes were sieving the potato crush now. We're getting stuff ready. While we're doing all of that, Titi had this look on her face. She wanted to be here. Okay, yeah, you can see it. You can see it right there. Titi had this look on her face. She wanted to be here. But unfortunately, she's not here. She's, of course, with Dr. Lawson. We're going to be talking some things about limbs. Let's check out what they have for us. Hello, Titi. Dr. Lawson. How you guys doing?
Yeah, fortunately for me, I'm with Dr. Lawson. He's one of the special doctors that comes into the studio that every time he's around, everybody always has something to ask him. Hey, Doc, you see, this, but Dr. Babajide Lawson is an orthopedic surgeon, And today, many adults suffer limb deformities of one type or another. So Dr. Lawson is going to be talking to us about these leg deformities in adults. Welcome back to the studio, Doc.
Thank you for having me.
All right, now, so when we hear the word deformity, you know, sometimes it just gives alarm bells, you know, off in your head. But there are some very minor deformities as well as major ones. Yeah. But which are the most common that you see in your doctor's office?
Okay, the first thing is the word deformity as applied to the limbs would just signify deviation from the normal.
Okay.
However, not every deformity is one that you would bother about, except it affects function.
Okay.
So you may talk about having bow or K-legs.
Okay.
Now, nature has created a range that is functional. So it may not be as cosmetic as you'd like it to be, but it may be functional. So if it's functional, we tend not to bother about it.
Okay.
However, if it is beyond that range, there's a tendency that you may not function as well as you should, and you may end up being in pain.
Okay.
So more often than not, the usual complaint is deformity and pain.
Pain. Okay.
So, so usually when the patients come in, most of the deformities revolve around the knee joints. So you get to see knock knees or very bad bow legs, or what we call a windswept deformity.
Okay.
In which case one leg is bow, one leg is K.
Okay.
And now the thing is, some of these deformities are things that you would occur in adulthood over time. And some are as a consequence of problems from childhood, things like Blount's disease, which is somewhat commoner in blacks. So, and that usually is as a result of the poor development of the inner part of the knee.
Okay.
So the outer part continues to develop and grow, the inner part doesn't. So that leaves the person with a really pronounced bow leg.
Okay.
So over the years, that inner part tends to wear faster and then can result in pain as the person walks.
So I know a lot of people have, you know, sort of learned to live with some of these things.
Yep.
And they have found different methods of living with either the pain or the less cosmetic part of things.
Yeah.
So what is the advice you give patients that maybe over time have just decided, you know what, I can't live with this anymore?
Okay, first things first would be to really assess the patient, assess the individual. Is there a problem? And what is the nature of the problem, and what form of intervention is available for the problem? Now, more often than not, for the knee issues, either really very bad knock knees. Now, again, the thing is pain. Now, if the pain, so the pain now depends on how much limitation of function goes with the pain. So sometimes it's just enough for rehabilitation, in which case you get them to have physiotherapy.
Okay.
Now, but the problem also now is that in assessing the pain, you should also assess the deformity. Some of the deformities are so pronounced that it really is not just enough to leave them to have physio. You may need to adjust the mechanical axis.
Okay.
So basically it's like, because it's deformed, it's not, the process of walking is not efficient. So if it's not efficient, then it's just only going to get worse.
So is it the inefficiency that's causing the pain, or is it vice versa? The pain that's causing the inefficiency?
No, the inefficiency is what's causing the pain.
Okay.
Because over time, the process is not effective, so it will result in pain, because it will result in the joints getting worn out. So sometimes that could also happen in individuals who've had accidents and fractures that probably did not heal well.
Okay.
So, and that alters the axis. So the thing there is the locomotive system, that is your walking, your lower limbs are a mechanical system. And if the axis is not properly aligned, just think of your car.
Okay.
So if your shocks are off or your axles are bad, then there's every likelihood that something will continue to give and it will wear. After a while, your tires could get bad. So it's something similar.
So it should just lead to other problems down the line.
Exactly.
And of course, your car will continue to make noise.
Yes.
All right, all right, all right. So I'm connecting there, you know, but I have to say, I have to go back to this issue of pain and pain management. Because there are quite a few people who have been living with pain for a long time and have, in essence, sort of gotten addicted to these pain meds. So what limits do you put in place for people with leg deformities when it comes to pain medication?
Okay. Treatment management usually is in stages and phases. So when the person is first of all assessed, you do determine if they fall into the category for physio.
Okay.
Now, when they are getting physio, you give drugs to make the physio process easier. Now, you review periodically and determine if they are making any progress. If they're now not making any progress, so each condition has modality of treatment and steps. So if they're not making progress, you escalate to the next level. And usually at the first interaction with the patient, you outline the treatment options and the stages that you'll have to go through, so that by the time you're now not getting the desired result from this particular stage, you know that you need to, exactly, and the patient too would anticipate.
But there's some people that have been on a particular medication for maybe 3-4 years, you know?
Yes.
So how does that work?
Usually sometimes what happens in those cases is that such individuals may have been offered surgery.
And they refuse
and there's a tendency for us to be averse to surgery in this environment.
But surgery after a long period, if it's not getting better, might just be the only other option. Dr. Lawson, it's always a pleasure having you in the studio. Honestly, the way you break some things down, it just gave me a very clear picture of what exactly is going on. If you have a question or two for Dr. Lawson, you can always use our social media handles at TVC Connect with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We have to take a quick break now, and we'll be back. Welcome back. Wake Up Nigeria continues now. We have female furniture maker, aka Lady Carpenter, Mistura Shitu, here again with us today. And we're talking home makeovers. We're going to be sharing styling options when it comes to the bedroom. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Titi. Good morning.
It's great to see you.
Same here.
Honestly, it's still mind-blowing. The whole Lady Carpenter thing just still blows my mind. I know you've come a long way in this field. But we're talking bedrooms today. And I know you must have come across so many different types of people, so many types of bedrooms. So when it comes to styling the bedroom, do you look at the person's personality first?
Yes, it's one of the first things we do when we're trying to design a bedroom. So if you call me to design your bedroom, the first thing I need to know is, what's your personality? What do you really want in such a bedroom? What do you want to see? What appeals to you? What really, come into you that this is my space? I need to know all those factors before advising you or coming up with a design that will speak your personality, that will speak to you.
Okay, so there are different types of bedrooms. I'm thinking we should just stick to normal adult bedrooms, because if you go into children's bedrooms, you go into another area entirely.
Exactly.
But then again, you have married couples, who are probably on the fence about what colors to use. I know some men just allow the woman design, and then some women don't mind having a little mixture. So what would you advise for a new couple who are designing maybe their bedroom?
Well, it depends on what they want. If the husband, take for example, love bold colors, we can actually match what he likes with the woman's color. So the bold color might be subtle, while we have the neutrals that will, tone it down. So we can have, like, some men will like black and white, and the woman might probably like neutrals. So we can do black, white, and maybe a bit of neutral colors. Or some really want it very loud. So you can have black, white, and red. So the red will actually be the accent colors. It's not that you have a red bed or red wall, but we have accents like throw pillows, like flower vases and all that to accessorize the space. Then also you can have like blue rooms. You can have different shades of blue with white. You can have lavender with lilac and white. Then you can have a brown mixed with maybe brown or other neutral colors. So it depends on what you're looking at.
So that's for couples there.
Yes.
But what about for maybe a single lady? You know, if you have a single working lady who, you know, she's quite feminine, what sort of things would you advise?
Yeah, mostly women like pink. Yeah, pink and white, or lilac and lavender.
Okay.
So that's majorly what I've been using for but some are, I mean, some women want something bold also. So we can still have maybe lemon yellow or green and pink. So it depends.
I'm a bit concerned though, because we know we've talked about colors that help wake you up and help send you to sleep.
Yeah.
So which colors would you advise if you're looking for a place for just sleep?
Yeah, blue, different shades of blue help a lot because it calms your nerves down. And also you want to play with neutral colors too. You know, different shades of neutral colors also help you, sleep.
And lighting?
Yes, lighting is very, very important. In bedrooms, mostly I advise my client to play with light. You know, the light actually enhance your mood, depending on what kind of mood you want to create. So you want to have your ceiling light, which is very important. You also want to have your table lamps or floor lamps or natural source of light. So those are very, very essential in any bedrooms.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
again,
Thank you.
Mr. Ashitu, for coming to talk to us. Hopefully we've given you a few insights in what options you have when it comes to styling your new bedroom. Or maybe just adjusting the one you already have.
Exactly.
We will be handing it over now to Mike. Mike is standing by with the chef.
So we've done quite a lot of mixing here. So let's show them what we did while we were, of course, having that discussion. So how do we mix this?
Okay, after grating our potato,
Yes,
we need to mix our potato with cheddar cheese, pepper, salt, eggs.
Okay. Okay.
Let's go for the base.
Wow, what style of? So that's butter, right?
That's butter.
That's butter.
Yeah.
Oh wow, wonderful. Okay, so so we just have to. Okay, all right. This is low heat, right?
Yeah, low heat.
Low heat. The temperature is okay. Is it good?
It's
good.
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So what's this process we're doing now?
Yeah, we are about to make the dough.
Okay,
for
the base for the
base.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
This is the base.
I like this. This looks very, very, very interesting. Okay, how long should this fry for? Or what's the process for this? Is it frying? It's not frying.
No, it's fried.
Okay, all right. So how long should this?
Like 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes this way, eh?
To have that crusty.
That crusty feel. Okay. Oh wow. So this is the base. Everything is going to get inside. Wonderful. So that base, instead of flour, the base is potato crust, which we've already mixed some black pepper, some
salt, oregano.
Oregano. This is oregano, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
Oregano.
Some oregano and some salt already. So that's what we have as our base for the pizza. Okay. Yeah. So what other options can people use for this base? When it comes to, of course, the ingredients, the other things you use, can I put normal pepper?
Like hot chili?
Yeah, hot chili.
If you want.
If I want, I can use hot chili.
You can use hot chili.
Can I use sugar?
No.
You know some people use sugar to cook yam and fry yam. Yes, no. You've not tried it. Some people use sugar now. They put sugar inside yam. I don't know. They say it's great. Okay, let's just leave that there. I know some people see. So I know that. How daring are you when it comes to being adventurous with trying out stuff? How daring are you? Let's on a scale of 1 to 10. How daring are you? 1 to 10. 10 being the most daring anyone can be. How daring are you? Or how adventurous are you when it comes to trying out new stuff? 1 to 10, how many? What will you give yourself? 8, 7, very adventurous.
7.
Yeah, you're very, okay. So that means that there are times when you're being very adventurous, like, you know, there are sometimes some errors, you can cook some things, some more creek butter when you're very adventurous. But you see, being adventurous is very nice. I love being adventurous. With adventures, you can try different things. They might not always come out nice, yeah, but the thing is that when it doesn't come out nice, you know what to do next time. So that's it. That's it. This is wonderful. If I also try this, there's a lot of stuff I'll put inside here. Like for me, I wouldn't try mushrooms. I said if I'm calling Chef Yabez and I tell Chef Yabez, please, I want some potato crush pizza,
with
snail and gizzard. That's what you're going to do. You're going to dice the thing, cha-cha-cha-cha. The way these guys are even called, mad cutter. So, cha-cha, dice it, snail and gizzard. Man, that is some very wonderful pizza, right? Chef Yabez. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So while this is going on, every other thing is set. We're waiting for this base to get ready, right? Waiting for the base to get ready. It'll take about 15 minutes. Of course, later on, we'll show you how, what next after this. We'll just take this break now. 2 laps of the show gone. We've got the final lap to go. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Wake Up Nigeria continues now. We have female furniture maker, aka Lady Carpenter, Ms. Tura Shitu, here again with us today. And we're talking home makeovers. We're going to be sharing styling options when it comes to the bedroom. Yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Titi. Good morning.
It's great to see you.
Same here.
Honestly, it's still mind-blowing. The whole Lady Carpenter thing just still blows my mind. I know you've come a long way in this field. Yeah. But we're talking bedrooms today. And I know you must have come across so many different types of people, so many types of bedrooms. So when it comes to styling the bedroom, do you look at the person's personality first?
Yes, it's one of the first things we do when we're trying to design a bedroom. So if you call me to design your bedroom, the first thing I need to know is, what's your personality? What do you really want in such a bedroom? What do you want to see? What appeals to you? What really, come into you that this is my space? I need to know all those factors before advising you or coming up with a design that will speak your personality, that will speak to you.
Okay, so there are different types of bedrooms. I'm thinking we should just stick to normal adult bedrooms, because if you go into children's bedrooms, you go into another area entirely. Exactly. But then again, you have couples, married couples, who are probably on the fence about what colors to use. I know some men just allow the woman design, and then some women don't mind having a little mixture. So what would you advise for a new couple who are designing maybe their bedroom?
Well, it depends on what they want. If the husband, take for example, love bold colors, we can actually match what he likes with the woman's color. So the bold color might be subtle, while we have the neutrals that will, tone it down. So we can have, like, some men will like black and white, and the woman might probably like neutral. So we can do black, white, and maybe a bit of neutral colors. Or some really want it very loud. So you can have black, white, and red. So the red will actually be the accent colors. It's not that you have a red bed or red wall, but we have accents like throw pillows, like flower vases and all that to accessorize the space. Then also you can have like blue rooms. You can have different shades of blue with white. You can have lavender with lilac and white. Then you can have a brown mixed with maybe brown or other neutral colors. So it depends on what you're looking at.
So that's for couples there.
Yes.
But what about for maybe a single lady? If you have a single working lady who, she's quite feminine, what sort of things would you advise?
Yeah, mostly women like pink. Yeah, pink and white, or lilac and lavender. Okay. So that's majorly what I've been using for but some some women want something bold also. So we can still have maybe lemon yellow or green and pink. So it depends.
I'm a bit concerned though, because we've talked about colors that help wake you up
and
and help send you to sleep.
Yeah.
So which colors would you advise if you're looking for a place for just sleep?
Yeah, blue, different shades of blue help a lot because it calms your nerves down. And also you want to play with neutral colors too. Different shades of neutral colors also help you, sleep.
And lighting?
Yes, lighting is very, very important. In bedrooms, mostly I advise my client to play with light. The light actually enhances your mood, depending on what kind of mood you want to create. So you want to have your ceiling light, which is very important. You also want to have your table lamps or floor lamps or natural source of light. So those are very, very essential in any bedrooms.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
again,
Thank you.
Mr. Ashitu, for coming to talk to us. Hopefully we've given you a few insights in what options you have when it comes to styling your new bedroom. Or maybe just adjusting the one you already have.
Exactly.
We will be handing it over now to Mike. Mike is standing by with the chef.
So we've done quite a lot of mixing here. So let's show them what we did while we were, of course, having that discussion. So how do we mix this?
Okay, after grating our potato,
Yes,
we
which
need
is
to mix our potato with cheddar cheese,
Okay.
Pepper, salt, eggs.
Okay. Okay.
Let's go for the base.
Wow. What style of... So that's butter, right?
That's butter.
That's butter.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. Okay. So, so we just have to... Okay. All right. This is low heat, right?
Yeah, low heat.
Low heat. The temperature is okay? Is it good?
It's okay.
good?
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So what's this process we're doing now?
Yeah, we are about to make the dough.
Okay,
for
the
pizza
base
dough,
for the
base.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the base.
I like this. This looks very, very, very interesting. Okay, how long should this fry for? Or what's the process for this? Is it frying? It's not frying.
No, it's fried.
Okay, all right. So how long should this?
Like 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes this way, eh?
To have that crusty.
That crusty feel. Okay. Oh, wow. So this is the base everything is going to get inside. Wonderful. So that base, instead of flour, the base is potato crust, which we've already mixed some black pepper, some
salt, oregano.
Oregano. This is oregano, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
Oregano.
Some oregano and some salt already. So that's what we have as our base for the pizza. Okay.
Yeah.
So what other options can people use for this base? When it comes to, of course, the ingredients, the other things you use, can I put normal pepper?
Like hot chili?
Yeah, hot chili.
If you want.
If I want, I can use hot chili.
You can use hot chili.
Can I use sugar?
No.
You know some people use sugar to cook yam and fry yam. Yes, now. You've not tried it. Some people use sugar now. They put sugar inside yam. I don't know. They say... Secret. Okay, let's just leave that there. I know some people see. So I know that. How daring are you when it comes to being adventurous with trying out stuff? How daring are you? Let's on a scale of 1 to 10. How daring are you? 1 to 10. 10 being the most daring anyone can be. How daring are you? Or how adventurous are you when it comes to trying out new stuff? 1 to 10. How many? What will you give yourself? 8, 7. Very adventurous.
7.
Yeah, you're very okay. So that means that there are times when you're being very adventurous. Like there are sometimes some errors. You can cook some things, some more quick butter when you're very adventurous. But you see, being adventurous is very nice. I love being adventurous. With adventures, you can try different things. They might not always come out nice, yeah. But the thing is that when it doesn't come out nice, you know what to do next time. So that's it. That's it. This is wonderful. If I also try this, there's a lot of stuff I'll put inside here. Like for me, I wouldn't try mushrooms. I said if I'm calling Chef Yabez and I tell Chef Yabez, please, I want some potato crush pizza, snail and gizzard. That's what you're going to do. You're going to dice it in, cha-cha-cha-cha. The way these guys don't even cut, mad cutter. So, cha-cha, dice it, snail and gizzard. Man, that'll be some very wonderful pizza, right? Chef Yabez. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so while this is going on, every other thing is set. We're waiting for this base to get ready, right? Waiting for the base to get ready. It'll take about 15 minutes. Of course, later on, we'll show you how, what next after this. We'll just take this break now. 2 laps of the show gone. We've got the final lap to go. Stay with us.
Things you are sure to find when you tune to Wake Up Nigeria. Happy and beautiful people. Good music and, of course, delicious food.
But then that's not all. Of course, there's still some other things you left out.
What? What else?
There's healthy lifestyle tips, great relationship advice, and, of course, top-notch celebrity interviews.
That's why we have to tell you, you know, you need to join this great family. You need to be a part of this. And of course, with the great food we mentioned earlier, we have Chef Yabez.
Yeah, just before we go to Chef Yabez, of course, you know, we spoke about all the issues, the traffic. A number of people still made it here. Dr. Lawson was able to make it. Home makeover Mistura, of course, she was able to make it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, finally,
Mr. Owokwe.
The young lion was able to also make it.
He made it.
Barely made it, but here we are.
Barely, wonderful. How was your experience getting here this morning?
Yeah, we'll talk about it very shortly.
All right, good. All right, good.
But the chef is keeping busy. I love what's going on here. It looks very nice and colorful. Very nice.
Look at that.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. All right.
Looking good, Chef, looking good.
Okay, so of course, there's still quite a lot more coming up the next 45 minutes. I'm Mike Nsekeno.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Go online right now and stream live with us at tvcentertainment.tv and, of course, on Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Comments, you should use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC, on Facebook, Instagram, on Twitter to interact with us.
And if you haven't yet, you should download our app for both Android and iOS stores. Now, with this app, you can watch us from anywhere in the world.
Now, there's a package from the just concluded event experience Africa Tag Texa 2020. We'll get that to you straight up right after this.
Yes. And of course, we're going to be having a performance from Freeborn.
Yep.
We have certified life coach,
yes,
Aremo Olalekon, joining us to discuss the zone matter.
You come inside now. Come here.
Then finally, we have a special guest joining us for a chat. Sumbo Adeoye is going to be here talking about her career and so much more. And he made it. Mr. Owokwe is here.
I feel like a special guest. I feel like a guest this morning.
So can you tell us about relationship triggers, different zones? Yeah, like
wow.
It's like a relationship gets. But how about really this morning? How was it getting?
Okay, so at 2 points on the express, just around I don't know. Okay, I think it's called. Is it Bagada or Ogudu?
No.
No. Okay.
Oworo.
Just after. Well, Oworo is fine.
Okay.
The Oworo axis is fine. Bagada is fine.
Okay.
Just after Ogudu, looks like there's a blockade there. I don't know what that was because it looked like people were turning around to the other side, and then around Alakpere as well.
Yeah.
That's where the main traffic is,
and
it's just crazy. It stands still. And then maybe every 10 minutes you move a little bit and stop everybody turns off their cars so for like 2 hours.
Wow.
So I mean, I was literally 3 minutes away from the office, but I couldn't move.
Wow.
So it's and then of course when you get to the express as well, the toll gate, all of that, nobody really knows what's happening. and they can't really put their finger on it.
So it started with the burning truck or tanker yesterday.
Yesterday.
So you actually had people stay over the night. The trucks stayed on that Otedola bridge up until over the night, up until this morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they
So
couldn't pass.
stand still, and it wasn't moving. And it wasn't moving.
Wow.
And so up until this morning, getting here, man, if I say the things I had to do to get here, the FIS is waiting for me outside. Getting here this morning, man, I can't say the kind of things I had to do.
I mean, people were climbing the embankment and the concrete. I mean, there are many people's cars that would have been ruined this morning.
Yeah.
Like,
I had to take
just from climbing the embankment and turning around.
I had to take a stroll from 7-Up myself all the way through to CMD to get into the office today. You know, luckily for me, I had a driver that could just turn back there and go back
so you
home.
just
It's one of those days that you wish you had a driver that you just send it out, bros.
So speaking of
I'll see you
idea,
later.
there's some days we can just do this show live via Skype or something. You know, so that we can also tell our boss and say, boss, today, you sure we not do this show in correspondence? You know, we can just stay there because some jobs now, if you don't have to be there physically, don't go out today.
So I
help yourself and help others.
Exactly.
I think today is the day.
You'll be able to help others as well. More importantly, that's very true. Very true.
All right, let's head over to the news now. Ibrahim is on standby.
By the time you start doing show via Skype, that is when Mike will now say, I just want to stay home and I want to do my show. For motorists plying the ever-busy Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, today started out with a particularly harrowing gridlock. The whole stretch of the highway, both inwards and outwards, are grounded, and this is affecting other adjoining routes. Some motorists say they have been stuck in the lockdown since last night, and it's not certain what has caused the traffic, but unconfirmed reports say a heavy-duty vehicle got burnt along the route. Motorists are still stranded. It's 2 days after a protest turned violent over the alleged murder of a footballer, Tiamiyu Kazim, by the police in Shagamu, Ogun State. During a visit to the family of the deceased, Governor Dapo Abiodun asked residents not to escalate tension in the area. The violent protest that claimed the lives of 3 persons in Shagamu seems to have aggravated the already tensed situation in the town, as both old and young complain about intimidation and harassment by the police. At home of the deceased, relatives complained to the governor, who was there with the Deputy Inspector General of Police, about unprofessional conduct of some policemen in the area. Family of the dead footballer are also demanding for justice. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, who represented the IGP during the visit, says all satellite stations of zonal offices have been disbanded. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. A phrase from George Orwell's Animal Farm is what comes to mind when analyzing the recent approach by the Department of State Security Service at tackling kidnapping in the country. A manual from the DSS, which provides tips against kidnapping for very important personalities, is generating controversy. A copy of the handbook titled Kidnapping, While Me and My Family, was sent to the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and other top government functionaries. A cross-section of Nigerians are now querying why the DSS will engage in selective protection of citizens. They say, given the spate of kidnapping in the country, any security advisory aimed at stemming the tide ought to be made public. Reacting to the backlash, the DSS said the handbook is not exclusive, adding that it conducts regular public awareness on security issues. Now, outside Nigeria, Iran's Deputy Health Minister and a lawmaker have tested positive for the coronavirus as it struggles to contain an outbreak that has killed 16 persons. The country is now one of 3 hotspots outside China, causing concern that the virus could be becoming a pandemic. The Deputy Minister, Iraj Harichi, had on Monday denied covering up the scale of the outbreak. He appeared to be in discomfort as he spoke to reporters. The situation is in Iran, home to holy sites that attract millions every year in the region where several countries have weak health systems, has caused great concern about a potential mass outbreak in the Middle East. And several European countries have announced their first coronavirus cases, with all appearing to be linked to the growing outbreak in Italy. Austria, Croatia and Switzerland said the cases involved people who had been to Italy. The first positive virus test has been recorded in Latin America in a Brazilian resident just returned from Italy. Italy has in recent days become Europe's worst affected country, with more than 300 cases and 11 deaths. But its neighbors have decided closing borders would be disproportionate. And that's it on Wake Up Nigeria today. Bye-bye.
Ofyongo Chooks, Freeborn, is here, popularly known, of course, by his stage name. Freeborn is an Afrofusion artist. Now, of course, he's a songwriter and music composer. Started his musical journey at a young age. Now, over the course of his career, he has performed at both corporate and sold-out concerts. Now, of course, his presence is consolidated with mid-country hits like She, Cautious, and Good Times. How are you doing, Freeborn? How did you get here this morning? How was your journey here this morning? The traffic and all that?
I had to take a walk. The traffic was really serious.
It's all for the music, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what are you performing this morning?
I'm doing Cubana, my latest song.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, take it away, Freeborn.
But it's steady on nice. Time to go crazy, oh no. Time to go jolly, oh. Cubana. The party just starts.
Texas 2020. The event Experience Africa 2020 comes to an end as Funke Bucknor Obruthe, Mai Atafo, Steve Harris, others engage event entrepreneurs. The second edition of the event Experience Africa Texas 2020, convened by one of the pioneers of the Nigerian event industry, Funke Bucknor Obruthe, was recently held in Lagos, Nigeria.
And this is the vision of bringing everyone in the event industry, whether you are a planner, you're a decorator, you are in the entertainment space, you're a DJ, you're an MC, whatever you do, like has to do in the event space, bringing them all together in a room where we can learn, we can share, we can gather knowledge, impact each other, give back to each other, and just generally have something that has never been done, almost in Nigeria.
The conference, which recorded over 700 attendees and speakers from across Nigeria, Africa, and America.
So I try to focus more on the fact that your brand is your promise, because I tend to see that a lot of people don't understand that, and whenever they're thinking about building a brand, they're focused on like the logo, the look and feel, but at the core of what your brand is your brand purpose, which is your essence, and that's really the promise that you're making to people, and being able to communicate that promise and keep that promise, and then to be able to communicate that you kept that promise.
Texa is an amazing platform. It's very practical. Here we discuss everything from business of events to technology to marketing, and basically things that you can, as an industry player, build into your business in order to build a thriving organization. And I think it's a very good cause.
Tagged Rev Up, Build, Grow, Thrive. The second edition of the conference is geared towards helping businesses understand and implement the right structures required to grow in the event industry.
It's not about other people, it's about you, knowing what you can deliver and what you can improve on. So that's one. Number two is be very intentional in how you market your brand. It shouldn't be someone else's principles, so someone else's execution that you just copy. It should be very, very tied into what your brand can do and what your brand can deliver.
One of the key takeaways from the panel was your marketing strategy is also your business strategy. It's just how you're communicating it to people. And so it's really important that each business takes the time out to understand what their brand is, how they want to market, what platforms they want to use, who are they talking to, so that they can generate the sales that will skyrocket their business.
The conference featured panel sessions, curated classes, networking sessions with different speakers, and on topics such as the business of events management, leveraging technology in the event industry, hospitality, experiential event production, the craft of event photography, videography, and more.
Having a convergence of event professionals and experts in various fields coming together and now talking about these issues and profiling solutions and helping the industry grow better.
That was a nicely put together package there. And right now we're being joined by a certified life coach and storyteller, Olalekan Oluwatobi, who is driven by his passion for relationships. And today he's here to talk about the zone matter. You know, when someone is in a friend zone and what to do about it. And we're going to be talking about the various aspects of this with the storyteller himself. How you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Good to have you join us on the show this morning.
Thank
So when people talk about the friend zone, what does it mean?
Oh, okay. Friend zone is, say, a box that someone has put someone where the idea is you can't cross this line with me when it comes to relationship. We can't move into anything romantic. We stick
to being friends.
Yes.
But it seems that like sometimes two people are friends, male and female.
Yeah.
One party, a lot of times, wants to take things further. So what do you do if you are the party that wants to take things further, but you feel like you're in the friend zone? Yeah.
Okay. So now, I think that happens most of the time when there's a male and female in a pretty close relationship, and one party wants to take it to the next level. The first thing is, do you see signs that this other person wants to take to the next level too? If it's not mutual, then no matter how much you force it, it might just affect the friendship you already have. But if somehow you're able to spot signs that, okay, this other person might also want to, then it's important that in your conversations, you now begin to infuse things about, is it possible that you and I can be more than this?
Right.
Do you get? So infusing it into conversations, because another thing is, don't just dump it on the person. So yesterday we were friends, then today you're asking me out. I'm like, guy, babe, we're just friends.
Right.
Okay, so, but if you have been putting it into conversations, subtly here and there, by the time it's now time for you to want to drop it as a guy, then it's more easily acceptable.
Is it possible, though? I mean, I've heard this a lot, that a male and a female can be in a very close relationship and just be friends. It seems always like something would always come up with one party, either the guy or with the lady. Well, can they just maintain being friends? What's wrong with being just friends?
Okay, nothing is wrong with just being just friends.
Right.
Is it possible for that kind of relationship to exist? I believe so. Yes, it is. However, most times, there are times when either during their journey of friendship, somebody might develop feelings for the other person.
Right.
But if they both decide that I want this just be friends, the person can choose that to look away from the emotional chemistry and all that going through the person's body and focus on the relationship, then get past that phase and they can enjoy the friendship.
Okay, so let's talk about a situation where someone's in the friend zone, they want to take things to the next level. This other person is saying, look, nothing can ever happen.
Yeah.
You know, one, should the person keep hoping? If the person is a male or a female, let's say she's a female, she wants to get married, but the guy is seeing her as a friend, right? And she's hoping that something will happen. But he's not saying anything. He doesn't look like he's interested. So one, should she keep hoping that he's going to come around at some point? Two, she should move on and go and look for another relationship and risk the friendship, if you know what I mean. So what are the things that people should do, especially in a situation where it doesn't seem like the other party is interested in anything to do with the relationship? Okay,
so if one party is interested and knows for a fact that the other person is not interested.
After a while, you know, maybe they've seen that there are no signs that it's ever
and you've seen there's no sign that this person is even looking at your way or something, or the person might even be talking about somebody else to you.
Exactly. So that happens a lot.
In such cases, Biko, don't hope, okay? Because hoping can get into stories that touch. Because there have been situations like this, real life stories, of where it happens that the next day, the guy just comes with Ivy.
I'm getting married, yeah.
I you call me, we talk every night. You follow me to my house, you take me out from time to time. I thought we were, I had somebody else, and the person is brokenhearted. Generally speaking, I think that for everybody, a guy or a girl, there are about 4 to 5 kind of people in their lives. Now, there's that friend that is just a friend. You can't be more than that. You're just a friend. Now, there's what I call a joker, where you're just the person that makes them laugh. If they are bored, they can spend hours with you about the phone, hours with you, spending time with you, going out with you. It's just because when they're around you, you're exciting.
You make them laugh.
Do you get? So you are a joker. You are not the real you. Then there's the shrink. At times it's the friend. At times somebody else, somebody that they just like to, pour their hearts to when they are worried. This person they share it with. Because they share deep things with you doesn't necessarily mean they feel anything for you either.
Right.
Okay. Then there's the, let's call him the nerd. This is a smart person. So they want to discuss an idea. It's you. They want to discuss books with you. It's you. So because they want to call their future plans with you. Because they are discussing their future plans with you doesn't necessarily mean you are the one
they're
either.
interested. Yeah.
Exactly. So there is now the real person. Now, at times, this real deal doesn't even know they exist. At times, if they are lucky, the person actually knows they exist and the person is paying attention to them. Now, if, for example, I am sitting with my joker and my real deal comes in, no matter what joke this person is cracking, my attention...
Your focus is in that direction.
So if my joker is trying to make me cross to become, out of the joker zone into something more, the person is just wasting time.
You're not going to be able to...
So knowing where you stand in the life of somebody is key.
Wow, thank you so much. This is to everybody trying to get out of the friend zone. Maybe you should find somebody else. That will be my advice. And if that friendship is important to you, try to keep it.
Yeah.
And don't try to take it to another. Thank you so much for joining us, Sam, for talking about this issue, shedding some light on it. We're going to be taking a break now and be back with one of our special guests after this.
Now, we've been joined by a very special guest, someone who went through being someone really interesting in the media to becoming a role model. There was quite a lot happening that she was, being talked about for, but currently she's championing projects and organizing free seminars to inspire change.
Yeah, she's a really special person. Sumbo Adeoye is here. Tell us all about her journey and, of course, the projects that she's working on, impacting youth all around the city of Lagos, all around Nigeria. And she's doing quite a bit.
Yeah, so it's been quite a journey. First of all, as an entrepreneur, let's talk about that aspect and then how that became an empowerment movement.
Okay, thank you, Titi, and thank you, Yomi, for having me. It's something that started off out of my ceaseless desires to just pursue my vision, pursue my passion. After over a decade of active service in the banking industry, I just sought the need for something more productive. It was more about being a solution provider and stop doing the routine thing that I was used to. And so I pulled out and then I started the events planning management outfits, which I called ESOB events. And up until like a year, I wasn't making profit, but I was finding fulfillment till I, put in for the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women Scholarship, and I was picked as one of the scholars. And I haven't gone through that rigorous training, access to free mentorship, business clinic. I saw the fact that I could actually do this and make profit. And so when I decided to put into practice all that I learned at EDC Pan-Atlantic University, I started making profit and I was happy. And then I thought about all the women that could do excellently well if only they knew how to, maybe enter the market with a little bit of mentorship, a little bit of business clinic. And, I just decided to pay it forward. And that was what gave rise to the Inspiring Change Initiative.
So it was almost like you not waiting till you were successful for another 10 years or another 20 years. Because typically, people that are young as you are not doing as much as you are doing.
Exactly.
Typically, it would be, okay, I've made so much money, so now let me give back. So you said you were paying it forward.
I didn't wait till I had to make a lot of money. I just had this burning desire to just pay it forward. I knew that, I'd seen businesses crumble after 2 years. In fact, some would even crumble before 2 years. They call it the teething period. A lot of them crumble because of the fear. Some just see a little bit of each and then they want to, withdraw from it. So, we saw case studies in class and I just felt, no, if only people outside there have access to this information, they could actually grow their business, they could scale up and then, we could have more female entrepreneurs, taking over the entrepreneurial space.
Well, that's amazing.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So the fact that you're a mom, You know, you've been a mom for quite a bit,
Yes.
you know, for different reasons that we're not going to exactly mention. But it must have been difficult being able to balance being a mom and also going into business and then coming along this journey. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, my first son is 14.
Wow,
You
that's
know,
amazing.
and well, all my children were like my motivation. When I pulled out of banking, my son was about turning 5, and I was starting up as an event planner. This is not a product, you know, it's not like something you can show, you know, touch and feel. You have to actually experience it. So I needed someone to just give me that first opportunity to actually show what I could do. But then it wasn't coming, so I had to use my children as, you know, my first client. So my son was turning 5. I'd resigned from banking. I didn't have that much, you know, huge budgets to put up a beautiful party or a big party. And so I sought the need to do a class party. And that was like my biggest break, because while in banking, we don't have time to actually do that. We just pay for cake and just take it to school, do the goodie bags. And so I asked my son, I said, what's your favorite character? And he goes, Barney, mommy. And I said, how would you feel if Barney comes to class? He was like, I'm going to be so excited. I said, Barney is going to come on your birthday. And he was so excited. So I took permission from the school. You know how it is with mascots, the whole school is going to go. And so they gave me this time. It was 15 minutes, and I maximized it. I went with a cameraman, photographer, and we put up together a beautiful class party. Just few children. Everybody was excited. But I did something quite strategic. I put in my flyer. My son was born in January, by the way. So I put in a flyer into his goodie bag. And so by the time they got the goodie bag to their homes, and they kept saying they want Nino had a class party. Nino had a class party. I want my party to be like Nino's party. So
parents
I was
started
booked.
calling you too.
Yes, I was booked every month of the year.
That's amazing.
When my colleagues in banking, that's why I'm really grateful for that network. When they call me and say, it's my son's birthday, I don't have time, I don't have money, I say, why don't we put up a beautiful class party? And so I started doing class parties before I did the elaborate ones with thousands of...
That's absolutely amazing. Very strategic as well. So I'm sure you
so they were my
of
motivation, really. I never... Without them, I don't think I would have thought in that direction. So I'm grateful to God for my children.
That's amazing. So let's talk about. I mean, recently you graduated 200 undergraduates in Agege.
Yes.
Number one, why the choice of Agege? And number two, what was talk to us about the kind of impact you made in the lives of these young people.
Oh, wow. It's been amazing. You know, sometimes because of lack of funding and partnership from corporate bodies, you really want to stop doing it. But when my team and I just see the results, the amazing success stories from attendees and people who are beneficiaries, we just want to go. We just want to do more. You know, we've had cases of Adeoye, Oreolua of Irede Foods talk about she came for the conference. She was inspired to go and put him for a BOI loan, interest-free, in millions, for a business of crayfish that started with about 2,250 naira. And she got it. She got the loan interest-free in millions. All she needed was just a push. So she came for the conference, and I mean, she heard me speak, and then she just sought the need to go for it, and then she did. She got it in millions. Today, the business has scaled up. You know, they have a factory, they have, they can boast of 6 staff, and they are able to deliver, you know, export this crayfish outside of. And then there's another person, Titi Layo Ayodele. There's so many amazing stories. She had registered a business for 10 years. The business has been growing for 10 years, but it was crawling. When she came, we talked about leveraging on social media and pushing your business out there deliberately. She did it, and in 1 month, she recorded, mind-blowing results. And then for the 200 undergrads that were able to register for skill acquisition, one of my main goals for this year is to ensure that I increase the capacity of women in my community. And I live in Agege. I mean, I'm privileged to be the wife of a pastor in Agege. We pastor in Agege, Royalty Christian Center, where God is grooming people for greatness. And so there's no point starting from VI. What about, you know, charity, they say, begins from home. So I decided to just start from Agege and then increase the capacity of the women around me, because I feel once they're empowered, the lives of their children would change, the lives of their brothers and sisters.
Amen to
and the
that.
whole Agege community would be better.
Amen.
So it's Agege
Feel
to the
that
world.
passion coming from
Honestly,
you.
can you, as she just keeps going and going and going. The energy is there. It's really positive energy. It's really good to have.
Honestly, I mean, that's like my biggest trophy in the world. I don't think money can buy that. In as much as we need funding, but the fact that these people are yearning to be successful. And I just keep training myself to ensure that I have the technical know-how and enough knowledge to be able to pass down to them.
You know what? Your passion cannot be matched right now, but we can try and maybe feed that passion with Chef Yabe's meal in the kitchen
I can smell
right now.
something.
Yes, please.
So you're going to join us
to the kitchen.
All right.
this
Thank
way, please.
you.
So,
Thank you.
hello, Sumbo, you're welcome. Good morning.
Hi, Mike.
So, you know now, myself and Chef Jabez, we've been getting this ready for you.
Something smells good.
Wow, this is amazing.
Chef Jabez, just very, very
Quickly,
briefly, just tell us how we get to all of this.
Today menu is a potato crush pizza.
Potato crush pizza.
We use Irish potato. We grate our Irish potato, we mix it with egg, cheddar cheese, salt and pepper. Everything. Then we use our fry pan to make the base.
After the potato base.
So this is pizza with a potato base. Yes.
Very nice.
Please
It looks
have
very...
a taste and tell us what you think. Please, please, please tell us what you think.
This is really, really good. Looks really good.
It looks good and it smells amazing.
Yeah. Why do I feel like?
Actually.
Why do I feel like some slices are missing?
Nothing's missing, though.
Not yet. So what do you think?
What do you think?
This is really good.
Excellent, excellent.
Really,
Well done,
really
Chef.
good.
Well done. Good job.
He came with the banana, I was ready today. No leave, no transfer.
Big thank you to Homely NG for the kitchen accessories on the show.
Yes, indeed. And as always, thank you so much to everyone who showed up on the show today. They braved the traffic. They made it here.
My goodness.
Everyone made it. Well, almost
Look, if you don't have to leave your house this morning, especially on this expressway, just
Yeah.
I want to give a short shout out to. I'll do different times, but for today, just everyone in the PCR. You guys did a great job getting here on time and putting up Halima, Francis, Alaja. No, PCR just for today. Best man. Alade, calm down, your tongue will come for today. Big shout out to you guys. I love also Sheks for getting me here in time. Great one, guys. Great one, guys. Yeah, don't worry, all of you, we have your day.
Nobody came to pick me up.
For today, just PCR.
sorry, boss.
We're
on the show.
Yeah, big shout out to you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank
6
you.
a.m. people.
Bye.
Bye.